Chaotically Nerdy is made by nerds for nerds. This podcast is made by adults for adults and children with bad parents. Adult language will be used and adult situations may arise. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chaotically Nerdy. I forgot the name of the podcast for a minute. I just wanted to say Chaos Incarnate, because that's what we are half the time. On today's episode, we're going to be working on feats.
Talking about feats.
We're going to go to Feet Finder.
Nope. That's all for you, bud.
No.
Oh, you can find me there.
Yeah.
Not really, but I'm debating it.
Heavily.
All right, so the way we're going to break them down. Jarrett, why don't you explain it? Because you're the one that made this half-assed script. Not that it's better than anything I've made. No, it really is.
Wow.
It's better than anything I've made, but it's not like it really
This is not a list
much.
of all the feats. It's just kind of the ones that not only us, but like the larger D&D community consider to be in their respective categories. So we have the ones that are broken, the good, the niche that are like good in either at certain levels or on certain characters. And then the just objectively bad feats that are not worth taking.
The ones you should not take.
Yeah, they are not worth taking.
They could have been cool, but they weren't.
The idea is cool usually, but the execution is poor.
Could have been cool. Somebody somewhere down the line fucked it up. I guess let's jump right into it. Let's start from the worst, because that way people won't pay attention. Kind of like us.
These are the ones that like wear fanny packs, have like money clips.
I'm sorry. I think I don't have my wallet with me, but it's kind of a money clip.
It's got a money clip in your wallet.
Yeah.
That's different than just a money clip.
Mm-hmm. It's not even a clip, really. It's like
Yeah.
it's a Ridge wallet.
Yeah.
Sponsor us, Ridge.
God.
God damn it.
And it has got the, like, why can I not think of the way to say it? It's not the clip. It's the other option you have where it's like a elastic band that just holds it there.
Just like a band.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll just say that these are the ones wearing Yeezys.
Yes.
They suck.
$600 pair of shoes.
They look cool, but they suck.
Most of them don't look cool.
No, they don't.
Only
Yeezys
ones,
don't
only
look
ones that
cool.
look cool, I would say, like the slides.
Yeah.
Ethan.
Okay.
Because they're slides.
You talk to us about Actor.
Why? It's so.
Tell what it is, at least.
This is one of the most useless.
It really is.
I don't even have this one committed to memory. This is how bad this one is.
You have... Lucky's the only one I have committed to memory.
Most of them are pretty well self-explanatory.
Why are we even going over Actor? Like, it's
Because
so
we're going to
bad.
tell the people how bad they are. And then we're going to talk shit about it to explain how bad it is.
Well,
If there's one thing we can do, it's talk shit.
if you give me a second, I could have looked it up first. But you're just like, no, here, Ethan, do this one.
Oh, God damn it. Here, I got it. Right here. Fucking...
I'm loading it. But
Mine's already loaded.
here, give me that crap.
God.
All right. The one good thing this feat has is it will increase your charisma score by 1.
Yeah.
But only to a maximum of 20.
That's a half feat, so.
Yeah. So you have advantage on charisma deception and charisma performance checks when trying to pass yourself off as a different person. So it would be better if it was just giving you advantage on like deception checks, just flat.
Yeah.
And then not only is it advantage on charisma deception checks, it's only when you're trying to pass yourself off as somebody else.
Yeah.
So that's crap.
It's crap, but it could be useful
It's very niche.
very, very niche, and it's too niche to be good.
It's not niche enough to be in the niche category.
Exactly.
Or
So
it's not
this,
good enough.
This is interesting, but there's like a couple classes that actually completely blow this out of the water just on their base abilities. And then the last thing you get for Actor is you can mimic the speech of another person or the sounds made by by other creatures. You must have heard the person speaking or heard the creature make the sound for at least 1 minute. A successful wisdom insight check contested by your charisma deception check allows the listener to determine that effect is faked. So not only do you have to spend a minute listening to somebody talk, which is unlikely.
Unless
Yeah,
you're listening
very
to
hard.
us.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Then
they
hopefully-
don't have podcasts.
Hopefully you've made it longer than a minute.
They don't have podcasts in the D&D world. I mean, I guess they could. I mean,
You're trying to figure out how that
Dungeons
works.
and Daddies and stuff like that. Yeah, those might be considered that, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same. And then it also can be just simply contested by an insight check. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
there's
not
no
a guarantee it works.
There's no.
Somebody with a high insight's immediately like, nah.
Yeah, it's.
So
I guess it's not the worst thing in the world, but it is just entirely useless, and it's certainly not worth an ASI slot.
No.
No.
see, my biggest problem with this feat is like it does a lot of things that I would probably just let someone that was proficient in deception
Performance.
or performance do. Especially the last ability. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah, you have like a +10 in performance. Yeah. You can mimic somebody's accent or speech pattern.
Well, think about.
And there's even there's a
think about
class.
assassin.
Yeah.
Assassin can
Yeah.
do the complete disguise kit thing.
Yeah, and it does take 7 days, but yeah.
Yeah, it does, but it's more
Yeah.
effective, and
As far as I know,
assassin is useful.
as far as I know, the assassin thing can't be.
Can be contested.
I don't think so.
It's me. I'm going to talk about athlete.
I'm sorry.
Basically, you're an athlete. It gives an increase. Like, honestly, that's the best way to explain it. Climbing doesn't cost you extra movement. It's a half feet again, so it increases your strength or dexterity by 1 to a maximum of 20.
20.
When you're prone, standing up only uses 5 feet of your movement, and you can make a running long jump or running high jump after moving only 5 feet on foot rather than 10 feet. So much of that is useless.
Yeah, it's,
When you're prone, standing up only uses 5 feet is so situational that
Well, it's good.
it's good, but it's too situational.
but half
how
the time
often
you're
are you
half the
prone?
time you're getting knocked prone. The person's within like
Half your
10,
distance. Yeah.
5, 10, 15 feet of you to begin with.
usually.
That's the main reason why it's kind of meh, is because it's, like you said, if you're getting knocked prone, most people are right
Unless
there
you're
next
trying to
you.
run away.
Yeah.
I mean, which at that point doesn't matter anyway. So
If you're trying to run away, it's too late.
you've already lost.
Exactly. So it's crap. Now, Jarrett, Charger.
Basically, when you use a dash action, you can use a bonus action to make a melee attack against a melee attack or a shove against a creature. You have to move 10 feet in a straight line. And immediately before taking this bonus action, and you either gain +5 bonus to the attack's damage roll, or you push the target up to 10 feet away. It's just so hard to like,
Why not prone?
yeah.
Why not knock him prone?
Yeah. And just, I moved you 10 feet away.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just very.
I've shoved you or I've hit you with a melee attack, so now I have to
I
go
think
even
you've
farther.
you've used this,
I've
move,
tried this before.
and it's not good.
It's
right?
really not that useful.
Yeah.
I mean, no. If it was like 10 damage, if it was twice as much damage and it knocked them prone, or if you could use the shove attack with your attack action, that would be a lot better, but it still wouldn't be worth the SI slot. No.
All right. And then next up's healer, and it's me. So you're an able physician. You're a doctor. That's what this just read as for the description. When you use a healer's kit to stabilize a dying creature, that creature also regains 1 hit point. As an action, you can spend 1 use of a healer's kit to tend to a creature and restore 1d6 plus 4 hit points to it, plus additional hit points equal to the creature's maximum number of hit dice. The creature can't regain hit points from this feat again until it finishes a short or long rest. It's just, there's better ways to heal.
This isn't a good way to heal.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just very.
Well, I mean, it's like saying, it's okay, I've got this. I stayed in a Holiday Inn Express last night. That's exactly the type of healer this is. Like, you don't want them touching you.
It's also just like.
It's that doctor right out of residency that's looking at the main doctor that's like,
He's got veins all busted up in his nose. His eyes are bloodshot. he's got track marks. It's like, he's not a real doctor, man.
It's Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz. God.
All right. Next up, we got skilled. Jarrett. No, Ethan.
Skilled? It's a lie.
It's the one that gives you extra skills. That's
Really all it is.
you get 3.
3 skills.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I remember because whenever we would get free ones,
You get
from
it.
either yours or
You
Ethan's.
gain proficiency in any combination of 3 skills or tools of your choice. How often do tools come up unless somebody is playing an artificer
Or thieves' tools.
or thieves' tools?
Very rarely.
And even then, do thieves' tools even
Like, it's not really that big of a deal.
whenever we're messing with unlocking something, most of the time it's sleight of hand.
I mean, it's thieves' tools.
I know it is technically thieves' tools, but I've never heard us say
Well, it's
if
you're proficient in it, it's the same as being proficient in sleight of hand anyway. It's the same thing. So just take sleight of hand if you can. If you can't take sleight of hand. But you get so many other ways to get skill proficiencies that it's not worth it. Because like when you make your character, between your background, your race, your class, you're going to end up with probably 5 to 6 skill proficiencies to begin with. If somebody in your party doesn't have one covered, it's really not going to matter.
No.
It's really not going to matter because, like, if you don't have a key, so you can't open the door for lockpicking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The nearest large object is a key. Or your axe.
Absolutely.
Or your foot.
Or, the nearest person.
Just knock it down.
The nearest goblin.
Yeah. Whatever. Just slam their face into it until it unlocks.
Open.
All right. That takes us into Tavern Brawler. Jarrett, that's you, bud.
So you get, it's a half feat again. You get a strength or constitution by 1. You're proficient in improvised weapons. You're
Not well defined.
Not
well defined at all.
Basically, it's anything like
Any object that is large enough for you to swing or hurl.
that is not a weapon.
Yes.
Like as
A
defined.
cup.
A book.
Yeah.
A chair.
Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah. A table.
What about a ladder?
Definitely a ladder would work. Yeah.
And now we've turned into a wrestling podcast.
Yes.
He threw the thumbtacks out.
You also gain not gain proficiency, but your unarmed strikes deal a D4 instead of 1 point of damage. And when you hit a creature with an unarmed or improvised weapon on your turn, you can use a bonus action to grapple that target.
You've become an even shittier monk.
It's probably the most useful of these bad feats. Like if you're a monk, I could see it for like certain.
If you're really looking to go,
If you're a monk, though, just punch.
Yeah, but
Why are you grabbing shit to
They're
throw?
like very
just
niche.
fucking hit him.
It's like super niche. Like you'd be like, okay, I punched him, now I can grapple him. If you're like a strength-based monk,
sure. Why would you do that?
People like to do this shit.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
no, I've seen people do weird things. So,
I agree.
I mean, if you're really looking for a flavor build, I guess it's okay, but it's
It's one of the only ways to get
by level 5, you've been outclassed.
Yeah, a damage increase to your unarmed strike. It was like the only way, not taking a level in monk.
It should be. I think you could fix this by saying that a tiny or small object is a D4. A medium-sized object.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I believe
Does
by
like
rules is written, improvised weapons all do a D4, I think.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, they do.
So if you're swinging,
No matter how big they are.
if you're a Goliath and you've had enlarged and you're swinging a telephone pole at somebody,
It's a D4.
it's a D4.
Well, technically it's 2D4, but yeah. D4 for enlarge and D4.
Yeah, I know. It's 2D4. That's still garbage.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah.
Compared to if you didn't enlarge and you
You could
And
get
you
up a
used
book.
a two-handed sword.
Yeah.
It's 2D6
plus a D4.
yeah,
plus a D4.
or you just pick up a book, it's a D4.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, you could just hold 2 books and go. Whack, whack, whack.
Or frying pans.
Yep.
Hey, we made those into actual weapons.
We
though.
did.
Yeah.
for reference, Ethan murdered an old lady with her own frying pans and then took them and then proceeded to murder everybody else.
I have no excuse for myself.
Got him enchanted.
It was Hagen, wasn't it?
Yeah, I got them enchanted. So when they clapped them together, they cast Thunderwave. Called Thunderclap.
I did that on my cheeks.
Why? Why are you the way you are?
It's like She-Hulk.
Yeah. Yeah, it's as entertaining as She-Hulk was, too.
Ooh. Did you finish it?
No.
You watch like 1 or 2 episodes and was done.
No, I watched like 4 episodes
did you?
eventually. I'm like, this is
We'll talk about
garbage.
that when we get to the Phase 4 episode.
No, I'm going to talk about it now. It's garbage.
Okay, so now we're going to go into the niche, which is it's just really good for certain people.
Certain people and levels, like you'll see.
Well, fine then. Jarrett, take us into the meta magic adept and explain it a little bit.
This is particularly good for sorcerers. It allows you to take an extra 2. Yeah,
Yes,
2.
2.
Where's it at?
I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
You want it?
I scroll. 2 extra meta magics, and you get 2 sorcery points. So yes, you can take this on
A wizard, a
any
warlock,
any
anybody.
spellcaster, but it's really useful for sorcerers because you get those extra sorcery points.
Yes.
And
Just adding on
Which
to
we-
what you can already do.
Which we talked about in
Yeah.
the sorcerer episode as to how you don't have enough because anytime you have resource management, you don't have enough.
well, it's not that
It seems like you don't have enough. You burn through them quick.
you can burn through them quick, yeah. But this is especially good for low level sorcerers because you only get as many sorcery points as your level. So you get this at level 4, instead of having 4 sorcery points, you get 6, which is
At that point, that's pretty substantial.
That's pretty substantial. Or if you're, say, a variant human and you get this at level 1, instead of having, which I guess at level 1 you don't have any sorcery points. So at level 2 you'd have 4 instead of 2.
Yeah, and that would be game changing.
Yeah, it's very nice.
All right, so next up is the Eldritch Adept. I guess I should figure out who's going, huh? Ethan. Efan. Which you wrote that it's specifically for the Warlock dips without having to actually dip into Warlock.
So like that old classic want to cast darkness and see through magical darkness. You don't actually have to take a Warlock dip now to do that. You can just take the Eldritch Adept feat and get that.
Yeah, so it's studying occult lore. You have unlocked Eldritch power within yourself. You learn 1 Eldritch invocation option of your choice. From the Warlock class, if the invocation has a prerequisite, you can choose that invocation only if you're a Warlock and only if you meet the prerequisites. Whenever you gain a level, you can replace the invocation with another one from the Warlock class.
Which in and of itself is pretty good, because if you say you want to try something and you don't like it, next time you level, change it out.
It's good for Warlocks.
It's also good. Yeah, it's
it's the same as meta magic. It's really good for just making your Warlock that much more useful. Like you said, it's really good for not having to dip into Warlock to get the invocation you want. Like any specific ones, like the mage armor.
Oh yeah, mage armor. So if you're an abjuration wizard,
it's fantastic.
You can have always on at will mage armor, which just boosts your I forget the name of it, your ward.
Yeah,
stuff like that. And then, like I said, any build that wants to use the darkness, see through magical darkness,
like Shadow Monk or
anything like that.
It would save you a level.
Yeah, they're
a couple level.
Like these past 2 are really, really, really good, but only if you're that type of caster.
And if you're looking for that type of specific.
It depends on your class and subclass choices.
Yes. It's not good for a random fighter to take one of those 2. Like a fighter, you're not going to take meta magic at it.
You're not going to take that. The Eldritch Adept one,
you could.
There are, because there's some.
It's probably the more useful.
It's more useful. Like there's some that let you just like get like a spell for free.
I don't know. Fighter Eldritch Knight might benefit from meta magic.
I think he's saying like a non-spellcasting type.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm saying
just
like
champion,
a barbarian of
which
you
can't actually.
You can't. Yes,
you
have to be able to. You have to be able to cast a spell.
But that's very loose. Like that could be innate casting from your race or something like.
Yeah.
I can cast
Like elves.
Yeah, I can cast fairy fire or light or whatever.
Okay. So that takes us into elven accuracy, which you've got for elves and half elves, because
It's niche because it's only those two.
You have to be an elf or a half elf to take this.
But if you are, fucking take it.
So it says the accuracy of elves is legendary, especially that of elf archers and spellcasters. You have uncanny aim with attacks that rely on precision rather than brute force. You gain the following benefits: increase your dexterity, intelligence, wisdom, or charisma score by 1 to a maximum of 20. And whenever you have advantage on an attack roll using dex, intelligence, wisdom, or charisma, you can re-roll one of the dice once.
Yep. So this does let you do what we like to call super advantage.
Yes.
Or turn disadvantage into super advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So because the way it's worded, you roll your 2, pick the lower one, you take that one, re-roll it.
It makes gunslinger fun.
Oh, it's like nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely... But it sucks that it's... Which I get
Horizon Walker would be really good with this. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything that shoots would be great and gets advantage.
Well, Horizon Walker is the superior shooting ranger. So
Fucking goddamn it. Heavy Armor Master. For the low-level characters with heavy armor. I don't know anything about it, so I'll read it.
Go ahead.
The prerequisite is obviously you have to be proficient with heavy armor. You can't just throw it on. You can use your armor to deflect strikes that would kill others, and you increase your strength score by 1. While you are wearing heavy armor, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage that you take from non-magical attacks is reduced by 3. That is very, very niche because later levels it feels like a waste.
That's why it's good at low levels, not high levels.
Yep.
Because it's just a flat -3, and it's like, okay, well, if I have a damage attack that does 19 damage, okay, I'm still taking 16 damage. It's not enough where when you're at low level, 3 damage might completely nullify it or
but like level 18 and you take that disintegrate spell to the face.
Well, that wouldn't even work on it,
Yeah.
It's a force.
It's force, yeah.
Yeah.
But like any high level attack, that might do like 20 or 30 damage. Okay, you've saved 3 points off of that. Yes, maybe that might save you. Maybe. It's very unlikely.
But a goblin stabbing you.
Yeah, because goblin stabbing you at level...
It hits you for 4 damage. You take 1.
Yeah.
That
much
is
better.
good. But if you're playing in a campaign that goes past level 4, it's going to be tough. And then Mage Slayer is up to Ethan.
Mage Slayer is whenever a creature within 5 feet of you casts a spell, you can use a reaction to make a melee attack upon that creature. When you damage a creature that is concentrating on a spell, the creature has disadvantage on the saving throw it takes to maintain concentration, and you have advantage on saving throws against spells cast by creatures within 5 feet of you. This is really great for like anything, like if you're trying to run an anti-magic person.
Yeah, and that's why I have it. It's for your anti-mage.
I mean, that's like very straightforward.
Yeah.
It's called Mage Slayer for a reason. It's really great for barbarians. It's really great for paladins, just because you can add a smite onto that. It's really nice.
But it is just niche in that you have to be going up against spellcasters. If you're not going up against spellcasters,
If you're fighting monsters instead.
it loses its utility.
Yeah. And then you've wasted a ability score improvement.
Oh, Monk too. Be really good on Monk because of the stunning strike.
Stunning strike.
Yeah.
That would be really good.
Or rogues because of the
Especially if they're engaged with somebody else.
reaction sneak attack.
And then Jarrett, I don't even know why I rolled.
Yeah, I don't know. You're a skill expert.
Yep. Which is
It's different than skilled because this one lets you get
expertise.
Well, not only that, it gives you an ASI or an ability score improvement. It's a half feat for any of the 6 feet abilities. So you can pick any of them. You have to choose. You're proficient in a skill of your choice, and then you get expertise in a skill which you have proficiency in. The skill you choose must be one that isn't already benefiting from expertise.
Yeah.
So it gives you an expertise, a skill, and a half feat.
It's a way to get expertise without being
a rogue or a bard. Yeah.
So like, be really good for like perception. It'd be really good for insight. It'd be really good for athletics.
Yeah, any of your
Stealth.
grapplers.
Yeah. Any of those. Pick those good feats.
Yeah, and it lets you round out, an odd.
Don't pick nature.
No.
Arcana.
Arcana is useful.
Yeah.
It is.
Nature's not.
Survival.
Survival is
can be.
like tracking.
Yeah, can be useful.
Can be useful, but how often? It depends on how often it comes up in your game, I
I
guess.
thought we just
fair.
used it. But
We
all right.
did. We did.
I never have. Y'all have been playing a completely different game than I've ever played with you guys.
This is true.
Whose fault is that?
I can't tell if that's because you're not there. Why is this my
It's
fault?
Jarrett's.
He didn't get your wife pregnant.
Yeah.
I don't think. Oh,
Hope not. I keep saying it's not mine.
you're just trying to get out of it.
Financially, yes.
Goddamn. Sorry, Sam.
No, that kid's mine. That kid is 100% mine.
I believe it.
She looks like me as a kid.
Yeah.
I think it's starting to make Sam mad because she looks so much like Sam as a little baby, and then now it's more like me. Now we're into the good. We're saving the broken for last because you should always pick those.
We're going to talk a lot about those, so probably.
Yeah.
Jarrett, Sentinel, buddy.
Sentinel. Perfect. It's
I don't think it's perfect, but
well, I meant perfect because it's right next to skilled.
ah,
So I didn't have to scroll very far. You can when you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, the creature speed becomes 0 for the rest of the turn. When creatures provoke opportunity attacks from you, even if they take the disengage action, so it's one of the only ways to like negate disengaging. And when a creature within 5 feet of you makes an attack against another target other than you, you can use your reaction to make a melee weapon attack against that attacking creature. So it's really good at locking down people being like, "You will not go past me, bitch."
you will not
and-
leave
yep, you're
my
in.
5-foot area.
Yeah. I'm not trapped in here with you. You're
You're
trapped in here with me.
It's very good.
Yeah.
All right, and then we'll go straight into Warcaster. It's me. So you have to be able to cast at least one spell to take this. And you have practiced casting spells in the midst of combat, learning techniques that grant you the following benefits. You have advantage on Constitution saving throws that you make to maintain your concentration on a spell when you take damage. You can perform the somatic components of spells even when you have weapons or a shield in one or both hands. When a hostile creature's movement provokes an opportunity attack from you, you can use your reaction to cast a spell at the creature rather than making an opportunity attack. The spell must have a casting time of 1 action and must target only that creature. It's really good. I mean, anytime...
It's like a must-have for casters.
Yes. And, like, you could use it on a paladin, a cleric. Paladin, not as much because you're not going to use...
Concentration.
Yeah,
Concentration.
as
You
much.
don't have very many spells that are like.
It just made me think of paladin because of the...
It depends
sword
on your
lord.
subclass.
I'm saying most of them don't have.
Most
like,
of them don't.
have a range.
But cleric,
Cleric, wizard, sorcerer,
any of
Warlock.
bard, anything that has like crowd control.
Well, it's especially good on Warlock because you only have so many spell
Yeah, so you need to
slots
keep
that
those
you,
up.
Yeah.
you need to make sure that you're keeping them.
Especially like your hex, you need to make sure your hex stays
yeah.
up if you want to keep your damage up.
Yeah.
And then Ethan, take us into resilient.
This is another really good one for casters. It's another half. No, it's not. So,
Well, it is.
Yeah, it is a half one, but you get to choose an ability score that you increase by 1, and then you gain proficiency in saving throws using that chosen ability.
So resilient con's good for casters.
The combination between Warcaster and Resilient is excelente.
Yes.
But it's also good for like anything that doesn't have dex saving throw proficiency.
It's good for fighters not to
Yeah.
to get that wisdom
Yeah,
saving
wisdom
throw.
saving throws.
Yeah.
It's a really good feat to take if you have an odd ability score in one of those.
But your class gives you like an odd
Well, there's
one to go with.
there's
to start
specific ability scores that you want to have proficiency in saving throws for.
like
Yeah.
dexterity,
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 Constitution, and wisdom.
wisdom,
Yeah.
are the
And
three
then
main.
a little bit lesser than that, charisma.
Yeah.
and then strength and intelligence is probably the least important.
Probably usually. Well, at
Least
early
used.
levels, like
Yeah.
intelligence later on is going to be really nice.
Yeah.
The feeble mind is terrible.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Then next up is Fey Touched. It's Ethan again. Apologies, mate.
It's okay. It's another half feat, sort of, but you have to choose between intelligence, wisdom, or charisma to increase by 1. And then you learn the Misty Step spell and 1 first level spell of your choice. The first level spell must be from divination or enchantment, School of Magic. You can cast each of these spells without expending a spell slot. Once you cast either of these spells in this way, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. You can also cast these spells using spell slots you have of appropriate level.
So this is just really good because Misty Step's always good.
It's such a great
so useful.
spell.
But
It's useful for everybody.
yeah, why I
Exactly.
really like this is because if your DM allows Wild Mount, Explorer's Guide to Wild Mount, their spells in your game, there's a first level spell called Gift of Alacrity that gives you a D8 to your initiative bonus.
Yeah.
And it lasts for 8 hours.
Oh, wow.
You
I
get to
did
use
not
that,
know.
Yeah, you get to use that once.
Non-concentration?
Not concentration. You cast it at the beginning of the day. First combat you go roll into. Or maybe, I think you might be able to choose. I don't remember. I have to look up. Anyway, but you can just add a D8 to an initiative roll, which is always good.
It's just good for getting Misty Step
Yeah.
without expending a spell
But I'd
slot.
have to, I believe also Hunter's Mark is enchantment. And I think heck, no, man, maybe not.
Be careful taking this on a barbarian,
Yeah, because you can't.
because if you are raging, you can't use spells of any sort.
So the one I'm looking at says it's a first level divination. 1 minute is how long it takes to cast it. It's a touch. You touch a willing creature for the duration. The target can add 1d8 to its initiative rolls. So anytime you would make initiative
Does it roll?
during, yeah, it says for the duration, the target can add 1d8 to its initiative rolls.
There you go.
And it's, so for 8 hours, you get
The real trick
that
is
1d8.
finding a willing person to touch.
Oh, touches. Mobile's up next. It's Jarrett.
Mobile. It lets you be mobile.
Appreciate that. All right, and Shield Master.
Your speed increases by 10 feet. When you use the dash action, difficult terrain doesn't cost extra movement. And when you make a melee attack against a creature, you don't provoke opportunity attacks from that creature for the rest of the turn, whether you hit or not. So a lot of people will take it specifically just for the extra 10 feet of movement. The second effect is like niche. Like, I don't know how many times you've ever like used that part of the feat to be like, or remembered it.
That's the main thing. You have to remember,
remember
your
that.
stuff.
And then also the melee attack against a creature.
Which part was that?
The second bullet point, the dash again over.
Oh,
difficult
yeah.
terrain. It's
Yeah.
one of the things you kind of have to remember.
Yeah.
And nobody remembers it.
Yeah, but the melee attack, and then you can just dip out and not get attacked.
Yeah, I've
It's
used
very
that a
nice.
lot.
It's a lot. It's very useful.
Yeah.
And then I will take us into Shield Master. You use shields not just for protection, but also for offense. You gain the following benefits while you are wielding a shield. If you take the attack action on your turn, you can use a bonus action to try and shove a creature within 5 feet of you with your shield. If you aren't incapacitated, you can add your shield's AC bonus to any dexterity saving throw you make against a spell or other harmful effect that targets only you. I did not know that. I don't know why I've always forgotten that one. I remember the shove, but as far as spellcasting,
Oh, yeah, it's nice.
if you are subjected to an effect that allows you to make a dexterity saving throw to take only half damage, you can use your reaction to take no damage if you succeed on the saving throw, interposing your shield between yourself and the source of the effect. That's really good as well.
Yeah,
I'm currently using this on my cleric with its shield, and
really good, isn't it?
it's ridiculously good. I literally saved my life. I had like less than 10 health left, and someone shot a dexterity spell at me, and I crit. Yeah, and I'm like, I'm alive, man.
I'm alive.
It was like a 5th level spell.
There you go.
That's good.
Basically, it allows any person with a shield to become a rogue.
If you're
Yeah.
if you're going to
And it doesn't have a limit to
No.
how many times you can do it either.
That's
So
good.
it's just
if you're gonna play a melee spellcaster, like a cleric, like I'm playing Tempest cleric,
Or really just anything that has a shield.
anything that you
anything
can
that
use
has
a
a
shield
shield.
that you want to use a shield on, take this immediately.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Especially if you're going to have like a lowish dex. Just really boost your dex.
Yeah,
I think
Say
my
two to your dex.
cleric's dex is 10.
Yeah. So
so now you got +2. Beneficial. And then we'll go into crossbow expert. Jarrett.
Crossbow expert. So this allows you
Guess
to.
what? You're an expert at crossbows.
It allows you to attack in melee with a ranged weapon and not get your disadvantage, which is really good. It also ignores the loading property of crossbows, which you're proficient. And when you use the attack action and attack with a one-handed weapon, you can use a bonus action to attack with a hand crossbow you are holding. So a lot of people just take this for the simple fact that when you are using a ranged attack in melee, you no longer have disadvantage. Doesn't say ranged melee or ranged weapon attack. It could be ranged spell attack. It goes over. It's every ranged attack within 5 feet.
It could be just a regular bow, not even a crossbow.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
That's awesome.
I feel like it's a slight oversight on their part.
It is.
That they definitely forgot.
It definitely is. Because somebody somewhere is taking advantage of that right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, this is like it's one of the most consistently good things, because you take it on like, a rogue or something, right? You go like attack, bonus action, fire.
Yeah. Next up is Piercer, Slasher, and Crusher. We count that as 3 different things or just one thing?
Essentially all this. We can go over all individually, but I just put them all because they essentially do the
same thing, just different style.
Well, except for they have their third thing is a little bit different.
A little different.
I think Crusher's probably the best.
It is.
So,
okay.
Is it my turn?
Well, I didn't even roll. We'll figure it out. No, it's me. So I'll do Piercer and you can do Crusher.
Okay.
And then Jarrett can do Slasher.
That's fine.
You have achieved a penetrating precision in combat, granting you the following benefits. Increase your strength or dexterity by 1 to a maximum of 20. All of these are to a maximum of 20. Feats, they won't give you over 20.
Yeah.
Once per turn, when you hit a creature with an attack that deals piercing damage, you can re-roll one of the attack's damage dice, and you must use the new roll. When you score a critical hit that deals piercing damage to a creature, you can roll 1 additional damage die when determining the extra piercing damage the target takes.
It's really good for like swashbucklers if you're going to use a rapier. It's great.
Or any ranged character.
Ranged character.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. Anything that does piercing, but those are the 2 most common probably.
Mm-hmm. Let me go next?
That's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Go for it.
It's very similar, but its strength and constitution increased by 1. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with an attack that deals bludgeoning damage, you can move it up to 5 feet in a unoccupied space, provided the target is no more than 1 size larger than you.
No saving throw.
No saving throw. Yep. And when you score a critical hit that deals bludgeoning damage to a creature, attack rolls against that creature are made with advantage until the start of your next turn. So you don't benefit from it unless you get a reaction, but everyone else does.
Really good on monks.
Yeah.
It's really good on monks.
Or anything that uses a warhammer or a maul.
Like if you're going to play a barbarian, it's really nice for using a maul with it. Or, warhammers.
I like the way you did that. Wiggled your arms. And
Well, it's like drumming.
I know, but it's just...
It's what you do when you want a warhammer, you drum on them.
If somebody came at me like that with warhammers, I would not be scared. I would probably laugh, and then they would kill me. But,
That's right. It's a distraction.
Yeah, it would work.
So Slasher is much the same. It's get a strength or dex, increase your strength or dex by 1. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with an attack that deals slashing damage, you can reduce the speed of the target by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. And when you score a critical hit that deals slashing damage, until the start of your next turn, the target has disadvantage on all attack rolls. So this is just good on anything that uses a sword.
Yep.
So just depending on what
damage type, like what weapon type you usually want to focus on.
The only one that you can really guarantee that you're going to keep around, though, is Piercer. Because if you're doing an archer, you're only ever going to have piercing unless you use a sling like a weirdo.
We've had it happen.
Yep.
Yep. All right. So next up is alert. Ethan.
What? Oh, I am alert.
Yes. Are you sure?
False.
Yes. So with alert, you can't be surprised while you are conscious.
Which is great.
The real benefit here is you gain a +5 bonus to initiative.
Yep. Just a flat +5.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yep.
And other creatures don't gain advantage on attack rolls against you as a result of being unseen by you. Rogues. So if you're facing like assassins and rogues, and you're doing like a pirate campaign, and like there's a bunch of swashbucklers. Take this.
I mean, take it pretty well just in general. If you want to be the
because
first to strike in combat, take it.
It's really nice.
That's never one that
It's really good on a rogue too,
It's really good on the road.
it's not one that you should ever feel bad about taking.
especially if you're an assassin and you have to get
Yeah.
attacks in at the very start of combat. Like this is really good to take.
Yeah. All right, and then I'll take us into observant. So you're quick to notice details of your environment, and you gain the following benefits. You get to increase your intelligence or wisdom score by 1. If you can see a creature's mouth while it is speaking a language you understand, you can interpret what it's saying by reading its lips. You have a +5 bonus to your passive wisdom perception and passive intelligence investigation scores. So passive perception and passive investigation.
What do your elf eyes see?
That's essentially
basically.
what the main benefit of this is. It's like, yes, you can annoy the shit out of your DM by using the second bullet point and being like, I can see their lips. What the fuck are they saying?
Yeah.
But most of the benefits going to be if your DM adheres to passive scores at all, is to having an extra +5 on both your passives to perception and investigation, which basically makes you like all knowing, all seeing, essentially.
Yes.
Like it's caused many DMs to be like, how the fuck do I surprise these characters if they have a 26 passive perception?
Yes.
It's honestly really beneficial on elves in general because of the trance.
Yeah, they're only out for 4 hours for a long rest, so then they can watch for the next 4.
No, because they still have their passive perceptions while they're in trance.
Oh, dude,
Yes,
interesting.
because they're not unconscious technically.
That's true.
Yep.
All right, so now we're into the broken, which means you should fucking take these if they fit
I will
for your
preface this.
character.
I don't really like the broken feats because it makes you feel like you have to take them. Like, right, like you almost feels like if,
I get what you're
from
saying.
a power
Yeah.
gaming standpoint, it's like you're
Like
like,
if you're gonna take a feat, you
gotta
have
take
to take
this.
one of these.
I think I've only taken one of these one time, and it was
I've taken 2
yeah.
on different characters. I mean, Lucky. Let's talk about them. It's me. Good, because I had it pulled up. So you have inexplicable luck, and that seems to kick in at just the right moment. You have 3 luck points. Whenever you make an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw, you can spend 1 luck point to roll an additional d20. You can choose to spend one of your luck points after you roll the die, but before the outcome is determined, you choose which of the d20s is used for the attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. Basically gives you advantage whenever you want it for 3 times. You can also spend 1 luck point when an attack roll is made against you. Roll a d20 and then choose whether the attack uses the attacker's roll or yours. If more than one creature spends a luck point to influence the outcome of the roll, the points cancel each other out, no additional dice are rolled, and you regain your expended luck points when you finish a long rest. So the second part of that is you can give somebody disadvantage, roughly. You can try to give them disadvantage. I don't think I ever did it that way. I think I always did it as... But it's so good. You pair that with a halfling
and a divination wizard.
and a divination wizard, and you can choose...
The rolls,
Yep.
Yeah.
pretty much.
You can never...
If you want
Fail
to
a
annoy
roll.
your DM, this is what you take.
Absolutely.
Or your party members if you're going to make them fail at things. It's great.
And then next up is sharpshooter. Ethan.
For sharpshooter, you have mastered ranged weapons and can make shots that others find impossible. Attacking at long range doesn't impose disadvantage on your ranged weapon attack rolls. So you basically have whatever the range says, there's no limit outside of the top limit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The maximum increment is your only increment. That's as far as you can go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your ranged weapon attacks ignore half and 3/4 cover, and before you make an attack with a ranged weapon that you are proficient with, you can choose to take a -5 penalty to the attack roll. If that attack hits, you gain +10 to the attack's damage. Legolas.
Legolas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, elf eyes and Legolas. You take this, basically you're turning into Orlando Bloom.
You're turning into Orlando Bloom. That's what I modeled my first character off of.
I know.
We all know.
That Drider had
That Drider was peak Legolas.
Was.
split it right down the middle.
Oh, God, that was good.
It was a good shot.
That was him fucking killing that Oliphant and being
yeah. It
Same
still
here.
only counts as one.
basically same energy.
But God, no, I still remember that. That was such a hype moment. That was
Oh,
like,
God,
I think
it
we
was
like
so
cheered
good.
at the table.
Yeah,
We did.
It's the only time we've ever had double crits in a row.
No, it was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
It was great. I loved it. All right, Jarrett, take us into Great Weapon Master, which is the last of the broken.
This is the most power gamey of the feats, I feel like, because
Yeah.
so many martial characters, you know, if you look up a build online, they'll be like, at this level, you have to take this because, you know, this is what makes your expected damage outcome. It's why I don't like them. I feel like it's a feat text at that point where if you have to
Yep.
take something to keep up damage-wise,
Yes.
I don't like it. That's bad game design to me. But on your turn, when you score a critical hit with a melee weapon attack, and reduce the creature's hit points to 0, you can make a weapon attack as a bonus action. You have to be using a two-handed weapon that has the heavy property to get this ability, I believe. And before you make a melee attack with a heavy weapon that you're proficient with, you can take a -5 to the attack roll. If the attack hits, it adds +10.
So same thing as sharpshooter,
Yeah.
with a little bit different flair.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of those are broken.
are
Obviously,
broken.
that's why they're in that. But you can get by without them
You can.
very easily. Like it. We're not saying you have to pick them because they're broken. I guess is the best way to
Well,
phrase
I
it.
mean, these, like, you don't have to pick any of them.
No.
Some of them just make things function, make life a lot easier, like Warcaster,
Yes.
Lucky. They just make everything a lot easier. They can even add a little flavor and fun to it. But in the end, you don't have to take it. Take what feels right for your character.
Yep.
I'm sure we'll cover it at some point, like how do we build characters and stuff like that.
Actually, are we going to do that on next? No. We can add it to the Session 0 homebrew rules because I don't think that'll take that long. We can talk about how you build one.
Like suggest where to start. And,
Yeah.
But I'm not going to suggest on what you should take. But
Yeah. Well, because everybody's different.
these are just
We're not going to hold a gun to your head.
these are just
Take this.
Take this.
these are just safety things. Like these are okay to take. These are good to take. Don't be disappointed by taking the bad ones.
Yeah.
Or taking the ones that we didn't even
'Cause-
mention.
Yeah,
Things
there's a
like
bunch on here we didn't even mention. I mean, there's a bunch.
Like immediately, like Tavern Brawler, an actor and athlete don't immediately seem terrible.
Yeah.
But in like actuality,
Yeah.
they're not. And
They don't get used as often as
Yeah.
you think they will.
Yeah.
and if
They're-
you take it, we just don't want you to be
Yeah, they're
disappointed.
trap feats in which they look cool on the surface, but their actual usability is
So the other thing about that
Little.
is if you play in a campaign where your DM is like Jarrett and he just hands out feats every
fucking
ability,
willy-nilly.
yeah, every ability score improvement, none of these are bad to take, and there's really no feats that are bad to take because you get
so many.
outside of healer.
out. Even then,
If you want to add some flavor to your character, I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever.
It's garbage.
it's not good.
Not one I would
but
recommend, but if you like, Logan took Weapon Master. We didn't put this on there. Weapon Master just gives you 4 proficiency in 4 weapons. That's all it does. It's all it does.
solid.
But he needed that to use. He wanted to be able to use like battle axes and
Yeah.
longswords and stuff. So he was like, "We get a free feat. I'll take that."
Yeah, and I mean, if they're free, why not?
Even if it's not totally functional for your character. I played a wizard one time that I took. It was like the combat adept thing. So that
Martial adept.
the martial
Yeah.
adept thing, so that you get the stuff from Battle Master Fighter, and it worked out really nice. It was a lot of fun. I could like parry melee attacks and stuff like that, and it worked out really good for the wizard. Just because it doesn't immediately make sense for it either, or you're worried it's not going to work out real well, you could probably find some way to make it work and be useful and flavor for your character.
Yeah, I mean, it's D&D. You can do whatever you want, realistically.
Yeah, that's the fun of it. I mean, you may die, then you get to try again.
Yeah, you get to make another character.
Don't get too.
Fuck, I'm good at that at this point.
Yeah, don't get too attached.
Not as good as Jamie, but
Yeah, you're gonna die at some point,
oh, absolutely.
especially Jamie.
All right, so now it
I'm
comes
coming
down
for
to the question part where I get to make up a question because I don't have any prepared.
What's the question?
Well, the question is going to be feet related because obviously we're talking about feet.
Yes.
Feats.
My size of my feet is 13.
Oh God! Now the fucking
like
God
that-
damn it, Laris!
This is gonna be like that. Yeah, it's that episode of
House of the Dragon.
Hot D, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So the
nice
question.
feet. Please don't.
All right, let's get back to the question. You
we
get
were
to.
vamping to give you more time.
I had it made up before we vamped and talked about your size 13s and fucking Laris Strong jacking off to Allison.
yeah.
So the question is, You get to take 1 feat and only 1 feat for the rest of your characters. Period.
Oh, okay.
What feat are you going to take? And I'll give everybody a second to think about it. I kind of got mine. Sorry, I put my paper right over yours.
Yeah.
Do you think you got one? Mm-hmm. All right. Spit it out.
I'll just take Fey Touched every time.
Fey touched. Okay.
It's pretty much the most universal, like, bam.
Yeah. Ethan, you got one? Or you need me to go?
It's probably alert.
Alert? Really? I'm taking Lucky. It's, I mean, it's my favorite.
Yeah.
Especially because you don't have to be the halfling. You can just...
I've just been on the other
helps.
side of Lucky, and I know how it feels.
Yeah. As a DM, we just don't like Lucky usually. Yeah.
And as a player only, I love it.
Yeah, and we say, fuck you.
It's all right. Been there, done that. That sounds bad.
I don't recall that.
You wouldn't. I mean,
Sneaky,
I mean
sneaky.
that fucking little to you. God damn. All right.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
So that wraps up the Feats episode. If you want to find us and talk to us more, see our Facebook page, all that good stuff, there is a link to our Discord on anchor.fm/chaotically nerdy. You can also use, I believe there should be a link in the episode description because I think I've added that to every episode. So you can find us there, just copy and paste it, and it'll pull you right to our Discord, and you can
Join in on this madness.
join in on the bullshittery.
Yeah.
Yee.
And that'll wrap up everything. And we appreciate you guys listening. And we hope you enjoyed. See you on the next one.
Deuce.
Bye.